So, like the three of you guys who showed up all got the memo, huh? They actually estimated that 130,000 people are going to be here over the weekend. I was thinking about it, and I wanted to kind of promote things, so I kind of posted that there's 130,000 estimated fans going to be here. And then I rethought it. I thought, wait a minute. Just because it's estimated doesn't mean that they're all fans, and so I did some research, and 3 are not. Okay, just so you know. Rest of you, I'm so glad you're here, and we have a wonderful group of people backstage. I have about 2 or 3 things I'm going to say, and then I'm going to turn it over to our directress and amazing talent. So first of all, on the not so up and happy side, mostly because we all care, our good friend Terry, who was Launchpad McQuack on DuckTales, his sweet wife has been battling cancer and passed away. We'd like to keep a good thought for Terry, whose 2 sons are also missing their mom and missing their sweetheart. Okay, now that we've got that out of the way, I'd like to then take a moment to say there are people all around this place in colored shirts that say volunteer. And this is my 3rd year invited back here. These people, there are over 1,000 of them for all of us here. They make sure that people get where they're supposed to be on time, that what they need is there. Pretty much they run this thing, and without them, we'd be home doing our voices to the mirror, okay? So before we go further, would you give a great big round of applause for these guys? Thank you. Wait, sorry, my hands are full, but I'd be applause. Okay, last year they were known officially as the best. This year they have a new title, the very best. Okay, so we love them. And also, if you see them, don't necessarily stop them to thank them, but maybe give them a thumbs up or something that you know they're working hard for not only us, but also for you, okay? 3rd thing, everybody here comes from all sorts of different backgrounds. How many of you here have a fantasy of being an actual voice performer at some point? Yes! Yeah, okay, cool. We want you to understand that where you are now, we once were. And where we are now, hopefully some of you will be in the future. Not that we want to lose our jobs because we love doing this and we wouldn't do that. But understand that we understand that you come here to support us and that you have hopes and dreams too. And part of what we do here is not just for ourselves, but largely for you, okay? You make it worthwhile for us to do this. That's a joke? Okay, now, I have been in the voiceover business for 35 years, taking the 20 years out that it took me to commute on the Santa Monica freeway home one night. But I've had the great privilege of auditioning for the lady that I'm going to introduce you next, and she's going to introduce a cast, many of whom I know well, some of whom I don't know well, but since she's intimately worked with them, she knows them better than anybody here. I gotta tell you that the art of voiceover is part of a group effort, okay? A character design gives you something about the character because however he or she looks tells you about that person's character. The art of animation or special effects in any production gives you action and makes the story move. What the voice actors do, don't forget the script writer. When you look at this script, you'll see the printing in black and white. The script writer both gives you the skeleton of the character, and then also gives you clues as to what the character is like in the writing. What a good director does is, a good director understands all of those elements. What the visual is, what the voiceover is going to be, what the script says, and what's going to happen. I'm coming, give me a second. Okay. What the voice actors do is they give you the soul, the inner character of what's going on and what the character really means. So this is going to be an opportunity for you not only to later hopefully ask questions, but see people at the top of their game enthrall you with the magic of their performances. And so without further ado, the lady who is going to be in charge of this with an original script and an original cast, Andrea Romano.
Nice to see you all. Thank you for being here today. Apologize about my voice. There was a cold vent over my head. We're going to do a table read for you. I'm going to introduce you to the Justice League. The voice of Batman, Kevin Conroy. The voice of Superman, George Newbern. The Flash, Michael Rosenbaum. The voice of Wonder Woman, Susan Eisenberg. The voice of Hawkgirl, Maria Canals-Barrera. The voice of the Green Lantern, Lamarr. And we needed a guest today to help us with a guest role, and as I was sitting down in the area where we're signing, I thought, I'll find somebody. Ooh, Khary Payton as the voice of Romano. And Brian Cummings very kindly is helping us out as the voice of John Jones because Carl Lumley could not be here today. So Brian is going to voice something for us. We're going to read for you a very, very special episode that was actually a 3-part arc called Star-Crossed. We recorded this in February of 2003. Very long time ago we made this. I've edited it down, so we're going to kind of just run through it quickly if you don't mind. And let us start at the beginning. You guys all ready? Can you all see?
No, I need to do some vocal warm-ups.
We're juggling a little bit because we have the handheld microphones and scripts, so bear with us as we stumble through together. You'll be kind, yes? Everybody good?
Are we a mic short?
I'm right here.
We'll figure it out. We'll pass microphones around. Okay.
Can we get Mike Polzer in here, please?
We open on the mall in Washington, D.C., on the Capitol building. Crouching on the roof is Batman. Below, we see guards escort visitors inside. Batman touches his comlink and says,
The delegates from Kaznia are just arriving.
Scene.
Any sign of trouble?
And Wonder Woman lands on the top of the Washington Monument and scans the city.
Nothing here.
Flash zips in, reports from the front of the White House.
Zilch, not even a sleazy politician.
John emerges and joins Flash. Flash says,
Are you sure we need to be here?
Batman is keeping a watchful eye.
According to my sources, terrorists have targeted the International Peace Summit.
Now they would have to do it during the playoffs.
What if these terrorists are already inside?
I've got that covered.
Inside the lobby, we see a pack of reporters. Michael, you start us off.
Have any concessions been made?
Maria.
How close is the settlement?
Brian.
When can we expect an announcement?
Amidst the throng, Clark Kent talks on his cell phone.
Look, Lois, I know you'd give your ITs for this assignment, but someone had to cover that sanitation strike.
He winces and pulls the phone away from his ear.
Don't blame me, talk to Perry.
In the skies over Washington, Hawkgirl swoops over to the Jefferson Memorial, and she hears,
Hey there.
She turns with surprise as Green Lantern flies in beside her.
Hey yourself.
Baby.
Aren't you supposed to be patrolling the North End?
I thought I saw trouble over here.
There's no trouble.
And he flies beneath her on his back and says,
Sure there is. I'm looking right at it.
and he gives her a quick kiss. And then darts away as she says,
You're bad.
You should know.
And you should get back to work. But after we're done, let's get some takeout from that Chinese place near your apartment.
Great. But this time, no eelheads.
and he flies off. She looks off after him and says,
Lightweight.
At a nearby Air Force base, we hear the air traffic officer say,
General Wells, I'm picking up an unidentified bogey headed toward Washington. I've tried contacting it, but there's no
The
response.
general turns to the communications officer.
Scramble interceptors. I want visual confirmation.
A squad of fighter jets peel away from camera.
Roger that.
Go, Michael. The pilot looks at his instruments. A large blip moves dead center on his screen. In the clear skies, there's an odd ripple distortion where the blip should be. He says, That's you. That's you. It's not you.
Weird. Something's there all right, but I can't make it out.
General Wells turns back to the air controller.
Still no response.
No, sir, and it's entering DC airspace.
He reacts grimly, saying,
Take it down.
They launch Stinger missiles. They hit the unseen target, explode with a blinding flash, the pilot says.
Direct hit!
And then he sees a huge alien cruiser decloak.
No way.
The alien cruiser fires back. Atop the Capitol, Batman turns toward the sound of the battle, says,
Report.
Green Lantern and Hawkgirl fly toward the alien cruiser. Wonder Woman flies up to join them. GL reacts to the ship.
Not exactly your garden variety terrorist.
Hawkgirl gapes in amazement.
It's a Gordanian Class 7 cruiser.
A what?
Watch out for the plasma cannons!
A powerful blast from the cruiser knocks Green Lantern and Wonder Woman out of the sky together, and Flash sees his friends falling.
Incoming!
He runs in circles, creates a whirlwind updraft which cushions their fall. A herd of reporters surges toward the door to get a better look at the debris falling outside. George, you're first.
Did you see that?
Kevin.
Did he get the shot?
Susan.
Get the van. Tell him we're going live.
Clark is, once he's alone, he pulls off his glasses, rips open his shirt, revealing the Superman S. Superman streaks into the sky to join Hawkgirl and John. She dodges another blast and calls out to them nice and loud, Hawkgirl.
I'll draw their fire!
We'll take out the rear stabilizers.
Wait! Don't!
Superman and John loop and grab one of the stabilizers. They're zapped with high voltage energy. Together, and Hawkgirl grabs her fallen partners. As they start to recover, John looks up at the cruiser.
Any other suggestions?
A powerful energy beam slices down from the sky and slices through the rear half of the cruiser. Flash says,
Whoa!
The disabled cruiser crashes into the Capitol steps, explodes in flames. The League looks up as a Thanagarian warship, followed by an enormous armada appears. Superman says.
Looks like it's gonna be one of those days.
Superman braces for action. Hawkgirl motions him back.
No, wait!
A shuttle launches from the largest ship. The next line is cut if you don't have it. The Justice League looks on the front lawn in front of the Capitol. An imposing helmeted soldier has wings. It's Commander Talak of Thanagar. The Justice League together goes. Very good. End of just the teaser. We're in Act 1. Talak is joined by several other Thanagarian soldiers. Flash says,
You know these guys?
Yes.
she flies over, lands in front of Talak, salutes and says,
Welcome to Earth, Commander.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
he returns her salute. Lantern says,
You care to tell us exactly what's going on here?
she turns to the whole League and says,
This is Commander Talak of Thanagar.
Save the introductions for later. I must meet with your world leaders. The fate of this planet may hang in the balance.
and we are now in the executive building conference hall. He addresses the assembled diplomats.
Friends, we are here on a mission of great urgency. 5 years ago, we secretly sent an advanced agent to Earth to learn more about your people and to study your defenses. That agent was Lieutenant Shiara Hall, better known to you as Hawkgirl.
Flash turns to GL.
You mean she's a spy?
She was spying on us.
Wait, take that back.
Yes, go
I have
back.
a line.
Michael.
GL!
Again, 61.
You mean she's a spy? Cool!
She was spying on us.
Oh, yeah. Huh.
And Talak continues.
Unfortunately, she discovered the Earth's defenses are sorely lacking. With your limited technology, you are totally unprepared for what is about to come. The greatest evil in the universe, our mortal enemies, the Gordanians. They have committed unspeakable atrocities, decimating world after world. And now, they are coming here. This will be the fate of the Earth unless you accept our help.
And all the diplomats, Maria first.
It's impossible.
Phil.
What can we do?
Thank you, Talak.
I know you'll need to discuss this among yourselves, but be quick about it. We're your only hope for salvation.
It's a short time later where they're on the upper level of the lobby. Green Lantern has pulled Hawkgirl aside so he can talk to her.
All this time. Why didn't you tell me?
John, there were so many times that I wanted to.
But
This was a military mission. I'd sworn an oath of secrecy and I couldn't tell anyone.
not even me?
I was following orders. You're a soldier. I think you'd understand.
He gently reaches out, touches her arm, and says,
So what else aren't you telling me?
Well, actually,
and we hear,
Shiara, there you are.
and he lands beside them. Hawkgirl pulls away from Green Lantern and says,
Darling, at last.
he takes Hawkgirl in his arms, kisses her. GL is stunned. Talak apologetically turns to GL and says,
Sorry, Talak.
He puts out his hand. GL reluctantly shakes it.
The Green Lantern.
Sorry, hold on. He's got one line.
John Stewart. The Green Lantern. Sarah has told me so much about you.
Has she?
And, you two are...
Ro and I are promised to each other. It's like being engaged.
Green Lantern nods to Talak, says,
Congratulations. Sure you two must have a lot of catching up to do.
and he walks away. Just like that. We're in a conference room. A short time later, military personnel gather around a large conference table. Superman and Wonder Woman stand at the head of the table. Green Lantern and Flash stand at the back of the room. General Wells. Brian.
Get my microphone. Sorry, I lost my microphone for a moment. Okay. All right, but can we trust the Thanagarians? We don't know anything about them.
We know they came here and risked their own lives to help us.
Yeah, like angels from heaven. Sorry, Princess. I'm not buying it.
It does seem almost too good to be true.
She turns to argue with Superman when Wonder Woman says,
But if Earth really is in danger, we can hardly afford to turn away help.
Flash turns to Green Lantern,
I can't believe they're still discussing this. It's such a no-brainer, right?
Yeah.
and he walks away. Again, he walks away. Green Lantern steps into the hallway, lowers his head. He looks like a man defeated. Suddenly he hears
The most mysterious creatures in the universe.
Batman standing there.
Sorry? Women. Let me tell you about women.
Not another Catwoman story.
Because Batman knows.
Don't do it.
Am I blue?
You said you weren't gonna do that! There was a time I was the only one.
Women. Don't be too hard on yourself. You didn't know she was spoken for.
Wait a minute, how did you know?
It wasn't hard to figure out. The point is, stuff happens. You just have to deal with it.
Yeah, thanks. I'll keep that in mind.
And Flash is standing there and finally figures it out as he says,
Wait, you and Hawkgirl? Get out!
and he thinks about it, and then he realizes it's kind of weird and says,
Really?
Do not ask me about the wings.
Superman number 126.
Commander Talak, the world leaders have come to a decision. Earth gladly accepts your assistance.
Very good. We'll begin immediately.
And he turns back to Hawkgirl, says,
I'm sorry, darling. Duty calls.
and he takes her hands, looks into her eyes, and says,
But I want you to come with me and act as an official liaison with the natives. Your experience with them may come in handy.
Of course.
and Hawkgirl says to John as she sees him,
John, we have to talk.
There's nothing to talk about.
But I wanted to explain about Ro and me.
Yeah, I'm a little busy right now.
and he flies
Lieutenant.
away. He flies away. Superman and John land near this huge steel framework carrying pieces of complex machinery. They set it in place, Superman says.
Quite a project. This generator's gonna be the size of a city.
It has to be. It has to be. It's got to sustain a force field strong enough to protect Earth from the Gordanians.
Flash zips in beside Hawkgirl.
I don't get what you see in that guy. I mean, sure, he's big and strong and ridiculously good looking. But so what? That doesn't make him some kind of hero.
And in this crowd, we hear the sound of this plaintive bleating. A little kid goat is dodging between the rumbling bulldozers. Crow swoops down, snatches up the lost goat, lands next to Hawkgirl and Flash, hands the small kid to Flash. Kid, this is a goat kid. Hands it to Flash and says,
Here, look after this little one.
and flies away. Hawkgirl gives Flash a look, flies off after him. Flash looks at the little kid in his arms, says,
Fine. but I still don't like him.
We push in on the Watchtower, Wonder Woman.
What exactly are you trying to prove here?
Batman is hunched over the body of a Gordanian doing a CSI-style autopsy.
Think about it.
What exactly are you trying to prove here?
She's peering over his shoulder.
Think about it. A single ship attacks a major city. Then the Thanagarian Armada coincidentally shows up to save us. I don't believe in coincidences.
So, how is this going to help? You don't know anything about Gordanian physiology.
No, but I know a frozen liver when I see one.
What?
The crew of this ship was dead long before the Thanagarians shot them down.
There's one more line.
I think we've been set up.
Bum, bum, bum. We're over DC at 182, Kevin. You ready?
Diana, I was right. The Gordanians are nowhere near Earth.
They're up in the Watchtower. Wonder Woman monitors his call.
The Thanagarians are...
And we aren't seeing him, so we don't know what it is. Wonder Woman calls out.
Batman? Come in. Can you hear me?
Superman is welding a large armature into place with his heat vision. Superman reacts to a beep in his ear. He activates his comlink.
Superman? Batman found evidence that the Thanagarians are lying.
She's at the command console.
He went aboard their command ship, but he's been captured
And suddenly the whole Watchtower is rocked by an explosion.
Great hell! They're here at the Watchtower.
She sees that the bay doors are opening, the attack shuttles are landing.
The landing bay's opening. They must have our access codes.
We'll be right there.
When she reaches the bay, 4 Thanagarian soldiers are ready for her. The Hawk soldiers fan out. She's hit from the side. And then faints.
Diana's in trouble. Get to the Javelin. Fast.
And before they can reach it, suddenly it's blasted by a powerful beam. The force blast bashes Flash off his feet. But he gets caught in a construct that Green Lantern's ring creates. Thank you. Nearby, Hawkgirl flies over.
What are you doing?
We can't let your friends jeopardize our mission.
And Lantern shields his friends from the Thanagarian, says,
Take him out. Fast and hard.
Flash rushes in and knocks aside one of the bad guys.
Hands off, Tweety!
Thank you. Because they have wings, right? And the Hawk soldiers fire synthetic kryptonite beam at Superman, scores a direct hit. Flash sees Superman fall, dashes over with concern.
Jeez, what'd they hit you with?
Superman winces, he can't move.
Feels like kryptonite.
Talak summons in reinforcements.
Fire the gravity beam.
Flash looks up, sees his feet sinking into the earth. He's pinned to the ground.
Can't move!
Green Lantern throws an aura over them, tries to tow them to safety.
I'll get you out of here.
Thank you, please hold. Thank you. A bolt streaks through the sky. It spreads over this dome-like energy field that surrounds the construction site. Green Lantern flies right into the force field. Hits the ground. He starts pounding his fist on the force field. Hawkgirl flies into the sea and lands beside him.
Don't fight us. We're trying to help
He
you.
glares at her.
Do you ever stop lying?
She approaches him closer.
It was for your own good. You've got to trust me.
He raises his ring, points it at her.
Why? Whose side are you really on?
And she sadly lowers her head and says,
Don't you know?
he relaxes his guard for a moment, and then she swings her mace right at him. Ha! And he slumps to the ground unconscious. She says,
I'm sorry, John.
very good. We are now in part 2. The Justice League.
I don't know why you're clapping. This is going really badly for us.
It's not going well. The Justice League are holed up in a thrift shop, in a department store of sorts. Superman says,
Hawk soldiers are still patrolling the skies.
Who knows? Maybe they'll get tired and go home.
and they all just stare at him for a beat.
Yeah, I know. A little optimism at a time like this couldn't hurt.
We hear a voice come over the PA system.
This is the Thanagarian. This is the voice of the Thanagarian Occupational Authority. Your so-called Justice League is in violation of our martial law. They are to be considered an enemy and dealt with on sight. Any person found aiding or harboring them will be summarily punished.
And the Justice League has been hearing this threat, Flash says.
Okay, so much for optimism.
For the time being, we're going to have to go underground.
How exactly do we hide when the entire planet is looking for us?
And Batman looks over it, there's clothes on racks there, and he says,
They're looking for the Justice League. Without our costumes, We are merely ordinary citizens.
Hold on a second. What about the whole secret identity thing? I mean, I trust you guys, but I'm not sure I'm ready to...
And Batman points to various members of the teams as he says,
Wally West. Clark Kent.
and he removes his own cowl and says,
Bruce Wayne.
and Flash... And Flash just stares at him in disbelief, and after a long moment, he mutters,
Show off.
He removes his mask, revealing a bushy head of red hair. Diana playfully touches his hair and says,
Red hair. It suits you.
You think?
I do.
Thanks.
Batman begins tossing clothes to all the Justice League.
Change now.
On the street later, the League tentatively makes their way from the store. They're all dressed in civilian clothes.
So be honest, does this make me look fat?
Man, you wear a skin-tight... Never mind. Look, we need to split up. They'll be looking for 6 of us, not pairs.
We're about 30 miles from Gotham City. We can regroup at my house there. But try and keep a low profile.
30 miles through hawk-infested territory, no problem.
Very good. We are now on an elevated train platform. Wally and John are online for the train. Wally says,
I can't believe Bats is really Bruce Wayne. You'd think a billionaire playboy could crack a smile every once in a while.
and John Stewart looks around at all the Hawks who are searching.
I cannot believe how easily they've taken over. They're everywhere.
Look, GL, Hawkgirl fooled us all. You can't blame yourself for what's happened.
I don't. I blame her for what's happened to Earth. And I only blame myself for caring about her.
And John Stewart and Wally are trapped in this line moving toward the checkpoint as Hawk Soldier 3, Kevin says. You're 179.
Hey, keep moving. Have your identity card ready.
Wally says,
What are we
"Fine."
gonna... To who? To me.
Do it again, sorry.
What are we gonna do?
And they're almost at the front of the line. Clark comes bursting in saying,
Excuse me, Clark Kent of the Daily Planet. I'd like to ask you a few questions.
as they surge forward out of the crowd,
We understand the Thanagarians are doing construction at a restricted location in the Gobi Desert. Can you confirm this?
and John has a camera, he's snapping pictures. The soldiers shield their eyes from the bright lights of the flash.
Hey, get that contraption away from here.
And just exactly how long do you plan on enforcing martial law?
No more questions. Go away. Immediately.
Can I quote you?
Very good. And now we're going to do a really big cut to part 3. We're at Wayne Manor. We're watching the TV where Snapper Carr is reporting, Michael.
This is Snapper Carr reporting. In a stunning turn of events, the Thanagarian forces have ended their occupation of Earth, departing for locations unknown.
Hawkgirl is sadly watching the TV.
Once again, the world owes a debt of gratitude to the selfless heroism of the Justice League.
Alfred enters with a tea tray. Hawkgirl looks at the closed doors and says to Alfred,
They've been in there a long time.
Yes, miss, they have.
inside the library, the rest of the League is in heated discussion.
She exploited our weaknesses, betrayed us.
Come on! She was in the ultimate no-win situation. When push came to shove, she came through for us, just like always.
Believe me, I feel for her. But after everything that's happened, I honestly don't know if I could ever completely trust her again.
Batman stands.
We're arguing in circles. It's time to take a vote.
Alfred comes in to Hawkgirl and nods at her and says,
They've sent for you, miss.
Thank you, Alfred.
and she goes inside the library, sees the entire group facing her. Superman steps forward.
Hawkgirl.
Before you start, I have something to say. I came to this planet as a patriot. I had a mission and I carried it out. What I couldn't know was that I would come to care for the Earth and her people. That I'd come to care for all of you. I've spent the last 5 years torn between my feelings and my duty. I won't ask you to do the same. Therefore, I am resigning from the Justice League, effective immediately.
And she walks toward the door. As she passes, Flash grabs her hand, pulls her into a brotherly hug. She disengages and walks out of the room. There's an uncomfortable moment. Flash speaks.
Great. No Hawkgirl, no javelins, no watchtower. What's gonna happen to the League now? Do we all just walk away?
No. We rebuild. Starting today.
The world still needs us, and we'll never let it down. It's our duty.
It's a short time later. Green Lantern steps outside where Hawkgirl is getting ready to leave.
You never asked how we vote.
It doesn't matter.
So, where are you gonna go?
I don't know. Someplace where the fate of the world isn't in my hands. Someplace where there are no more secrets, no more lies.
Was it all a lie?
She turns and looks right at him.
I love you, John. I never lied about that.
She spreads her wings, flies off into the dawn, as Jean says.
I love you too.
And that's that. Whoever was doing the voice of the baby was just great. We have about 10 minutes, right? I think we have about 10 minutes. Would you like to ask a couple of questions? Do you have some questions you want to ask? I think there's a few microphones. Why don't you take mine? Thank you. And we have to give it one more. Somebody else can take the microphone?
Hi.
Somebody else can?
We cut out the part where I say, kiss my ass.
There are children here, stop that.
Okay. Somebody, right over here.
Hello.
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 I'm asking about the Great Brain Robbery, and I heard that Michael Rosenbaum and the one that played Luthor had extra lines that they couldn't put in the episode because they were just playing with each other. Do you remember any of those extra lines?
I don't even remember the episode.
It's the one where Luthor and Flash switch
Brown,
bodies.
yeah.
You know, we did something really interesting when we recorded that, because they switched personalities, right? And so, often, as you guys know, we don't always get the chance to have an ensemble record like this, where everybody's in the room at the same time. And because I wanted them to sound like each other, we brought Clancy and Michael in together. Clancy would read the line that Michael had to say, and Michael would kind of echo Clancy so that he would use his rhythms, his timing, his kind of voice placement, and then we would cadence, and then we would reverse it. Michael would read the lines that Clancy would then have to do. But what lines we didn't use, I have no idea. Don't remember. Thank you.
That's so funny. I would love to hear Clancy Brown do you.
Pretty funny. Over here we have somebody. Yeah, there's kids.
Hi, how you guys doing? Holy crap, this is where I peak in life. So my question is just like, when it comes to voice acting and then like stage acting or I guess TV, movies and all this stuff, if you guys feel like you have more... Correction, this is right.
I hope this question is good.
I just wanted to know, like, if you guys felt like you had more liberties with your characters when it comes to voice acting or like stage acting.
Let's start with Kevin.
Well, there's a freedom when you're in the booth, actually. There is a certain freedom, I find, with your imagination. But I have to be honest, the writers and the producers really want you to stick to the script. They've spent time creating these stories, so they want you to be faithful to the script. But don't you find that it's very liberating to be in the booth? I can get much more emotional and much more in touch with my emotions in there.
Anybody else stage work want to respond to that question?
I like to do Shakespeare because he's dead. So he can't tell me not to switch it up every once in a while. It kind of depends on the show. A show that is so plot driven, like the Justice League, I think you have to stick to the script because you're really serving the story, you know. And in this sense, and we're talking about
to switch up Gordanians and Thanagarians willy-nilly.
Exactly. You know, and you're talking about these archetypal characters. I mean, it's Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman.
Word.
You know, you got to.
I improvise occasionally. No, what's fun is, and we all do this, is Andrea is an amazing director. She really is. There's nobody better in the business. And
Nobody better. Nobody better than Andrea.
Nobody better.
She's the best in the business. Andrea, we all want to work with you forever and ever.
Are you gonna start singing Carly Simon now?
you know what's great is she does give us a freedom. I mean, if I say, listen, like, Batman, what are you doing? Michael, give me 3 in a row, completely different. So we all get to do that with her. We'll do it, and our personality comes out, and she'll pick the best one. They pick the best one, or the one, so we do have fun.
Thank you. Over here.
Yeah. Well, hi, first I just want to say that you guys are some of my childhood heroes. You were the ones who got me into comic books and stuff. And I was just wondering, with so many different comic books out there, what's a comic property that you guys would love to be voices on?
That's an interesting question. As the resident comic book geek of the group, I mean, I read a lot of really cool stuff. There's a book called Lazarus that's out now, which you would love. It's really dark dystopian. It's basically like Mad Max, but instead of we're all lost corporations take over, have divided the world up. Yes, exactly. Corporations are people who eat the poor. But I mean, there are so many, and really, it's not about whether it comes from a comic book or whether it comes from just an idea that someone has at home. It's the quality of the work and the collaboration that the producers bring to it.
We're all very well aware of how lucky we were to all get together on this project, and how many wonderful writers and producers and composers and remarkable guests that we got to come in and play with us. Really amazing people. We have time for one more question. No pressure. Be really, really good, okay?
Well, you're all very talented voice actors, and I've seen Justice League in Irish and a few other languages as well. So I was wondering, if you had to do your character in a different accent, what accent would you do your character in?
I like yours.
Okay. I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman.
Was that Yiddish? Oi!
I stand for truth, justice, and the American way.
I don't know. Some place where the fate of the world isn't in my hands. Some place where there are no more secrets. No more lies.
Years I've worked with her and never knew she did that accent.
You could have got so much more work.
I know.
I don't know, man. Hey, Batman. You like my new slacks? They're tight like.
Zilch, not even a sleazy politician. Are you sure we need to be here?
I don't know. I suppose maybe something Caribbean.
In greatest day, in blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power, Green Lantern's light. What do you do after that? I don't know. I could say booyah in Russian, maybe. Booyah!
I'm gonna
do one from, I'm from Miami. My parents are Cuban, so I'm gonna do a Miami Cuban accent, okay? And you should get back to work, okay? Because after we're done, let's get some takeout from that great Chinese place near your apartment, all right?
That was an excellent question, truly. That was an excellent question. I think we have a few more minutes. No, we don't. Okay, good. I want to just tell you guys, if you have more questions, we have to do a couple of photo things, but then we're all going to be back at the signing booths. And so if you have more questions, come ask us questions individually, and we'll be happy to sign for you and be happy to answer your questions for you. You guys were terrific to stay and be here with us. We're so glad that you were here. If you desire to see more Justice League animated...
Bring us back! 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 Bring us back!
Please use your social media and let Warner Brothers know you want more animated Justice League. Anybody want to say anything? Very good?
If it can happen for Young Justice, it can happen for the Justice.
Generally nerdy.